Taking a look at number 5 here, notice that you have two radicals, which means when we're isolating our radicals, we have to isolate one of them. And here you have a choice between the square root of x minus 3 or the square root of x plus 5. In this one, I'm going to isolate the square root of x minus 3 by subtracting the square root of x plus 5. So subtract the square root of x plus 5 from both sides. Which leaves you with the square root of x minus 3 is going to be equal to 4 minus the square root of x plus 5. Now we're going to continue to isolate our radical and eliminate that radical by squaring both sides, which just leaves you with x minus 3 on the left side is going to be equal to 4 minus the square root of x plus 5, and the whole thing is still squared. So off to the side here, let's do tabular for that 4 minus the square root of x plus 5 squared. So I have 4, I have a negative square root of x plus 5, and I have a 4 and a negative square root of x plus 5. Well, 4 times 4 here will get me 16. Negative square root of x plus 5 times 4 will be negative 4 square root of x plus 5. And same thing, 4 times that negative radical x plus 5 will be negative 4 radical x plus 5. And lastly, this negative square root of x plus 5 times a negative square root of x plus 5. Hopefully you see that the radicals will cancel, and a negative times a negative is just going to be a positive. So x plus 5. So I have x minus 3 is going to equal 16 minus 4 radical x plus 5 minus, and let me write it down here, that 4 radical x plus 5 plus x plus 5. And if I combine my like terms, and let's write it down here, I get x minus 3 is going to equal 16 minus, and notice the radicals there will combine since they are under the same radical, 8 radical x plus 5 plus x plus 5. Let's continue to clean this up. So I get x minus 3 is equal to, and 16 plus 5 will be 21 minus 8 radical x plus 5 plus the x that just comes along. Now we're going back to from our last lesson, and we want to eliminate that radical by isolating it. So isolate it by subtracting 21 from both sides, and you're going to also subtract the x. Subtract the x. So notice a positive x and a negative x, the x will cancel, and a minus 3 minus 21 will be minus 24. It's going to equal negative 8 radical x plus 5. So let's get some more space going here. And I want to continue to solve for that radical x plus 5 by dividing by negative 8 to isolate it further. Okay, you're allowed to divide by negative 8 here, so notice that the negative 8 will go into negative 24 evenly 3 times. So you get 3 equal radical x plus 5. And your last step is to eliminate that radical. Eliminate the radical by squaring both sides. So you get 9 is equal to x plus 5. And you should be able to solve this one quickly. Subtract 5 subtract 5. So you get 4 is equal to x. Our last and final step is to check our solution to see if it works. So let's go back to our original equation here. Let's take a look at it. And let's clear some space. So we said x equal 4, and let's plug it in to see if it works. I have 4 minus 3 plus radical 4 plus 5 is equal to 4. 4 minus 3 will give me 1, so square root of 1 plus 4 plus 5, which is just 9, is equal to 4. The square root of 1 is a perfect square, which gives you 1, and the square root of 9, which is also a perfect square, will give you 3. And does that equal 4? Hopefully you see that 1 plus 3 does equal 4, so 4 equal 4. So this one does check out. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please bring them to class.